to call people colors as if they're ethnicity.
Trouble on the right flank.
Like, it's not where your ancestors came from. It's not an ethnicity. It's just census. Yeah, it annoys me. So yeah, where we lived, the area that we lived, it was really common. I actually got turned away from a job telling me that they only hire quote unquote minorities.
No room for that.
Um, yeah, that was annoying. I got harassed out of one job
That was an impressive
where
stroke
it
of
was
good
fine.
fortune.
It was remote. Like, they never saw me, and until they saw me and the color of my skin, there were no problems. And after they saw the color of my skin, there were problems. And the manager was blatantly harassing me about it, but nobody did
No
anything.
room for that. No
She
room for
kept
that.
on telling me that it was about perception. And essentially, if, yeah, if, um, if anything I did vaguely offended her, it was my fault because she was offended. And it didn't have to even be, like, my fault to be my fault. Yeah, it was a lot of racists tend to be that way regardless of the pigment of their skin. It is the same tired logic. And of course, I have relatives I don't speak to because they are also that way. So I can blatantly tell you, it is the same mindset. It's the same mindset I don't talk to other people for having.
Supply run is en route.
We'll see you soon.
And it's distressing and insulting and it's horrible. No matter who the person is or what color their skin is. It's just terrible. People are people, not, I don't know, whatever that reduces them down to. And it does. It reduces them to things that aren't who they are. Like, I have been told, you're a racist because you have pale skin. And that is my justification for, they called it reverse racism.
Rucksack's full, so I'm headed
Which
back.
sounds,
We'll be ready.
which they don't like hearing, is also what a certain German party called it whenever they went up against another group at the time. I've had people try to tell me you cannot be racist against light-skinned people because they're not minority. That's not how that works. That's not how anything works. Because all racism, yeah, that's just racism. It's literally just justifying racism. It's even like, it's literally the same mindset that the Yazis had. We're gonna say Yahtzee because we don't want to get censored. But hopefully we all know who we're talking about. But they literally had like an entire campaign where they claimed it was not discrimination to discriminate against Jewish people. Because Jewish people were said to have social advantages because a lot of them worked in banks and with money. That it's literally the same argument. That's why people like who look at that go, do we need to prepare for something here? And then you've got the people that use that as like a fear tactic. And then, oh god, our politics in this country are a mess both ways. I just want people to stop being jerks. We'll use the term jerks. I want people to stop being jerks. I just want people to treat each other like people, regardless of their skin tone.
Can't carry that much.
Okay. Apparently that's too much to ask, though, so, yeah, no. It's like, I had someone tell me, you don't know what it's like to be discriminated against because you're pale skin, and they were talking about how their ancestors were slaves and stuff, and I was like, so were mine, but we don't talk about that. But yours weren't enslaved for their ethnicity or the color of their skin, and I said, yes, they were. Yes, they were. And then they want you to, like, prove it. Like, you are making statements that you cannot prove. Why do I need to prove your thought process for you? Like, but then I end up proving it, and nobody likes that. Nobody likes it whenever you prove it wrong. Everybody had slaved and was slaved by someone. I mean, yeah. That's the eternal truth of history, is that everybody was a-holes to everybody. But that whole thing stems from living in the US and the transatlantic slave trade. Because the transatlantic slave trade got pretty specific. I mean, it wasn't just that one group of people that were traded, even here in the US. But yeah. It's really annoying. I need to clear out some things out of here, because apparently it's just too many items. Need to destroy some. History is full of shitty people doing shitty things. Ah! No true words have been spoken. And of course, in history, we're gonna ignore that it was rich people doing most of the shitty things. Like, because everything gets reduced down to skin color, we don't talk about how interesting it is. Because there were, like, even, like, in the South, there were plantations that had 0 slaves. But we don't talk about that in American history. Instead, the group we blame is people of paler comportment, paler skin. We don't talk about that it was more of a class issue than it was a skin issue. Not that it wasn't also, at some point, a skin issue, because, but like, who do they think was affording to buy literal people? Because it wasn't your Joe Blow working on a plantation just trying to get by with their family.
Better get ready. We'll be on them soon if we keep going this way.
I like to study history just for the shits and giggles. I may have also, like, actually ended up with a passable... There we go. Okay, that's a good one. Like, I had history teachers that would tell us, I'm not allowed to teach you. Or I have gotten, like, they've gotten in trouble for, like, actually teaching history. Or just providing books on parts of history, and now we've got a whole state that has banned the Diary of Anne Frank. We do not live. This is not the good place.
Confirmed. No Zeds here.
We're in the bad place. We're in danger. People start banning the Diary of Anne Frank.
That was... Heads up. I'm
That's
coming
not
in.
just an alarm.
We'll be
That's a siren. That's yeah. And some of the books that they've started getting rid of are the reasonings have nothing to do with anything that they should. Like, of course you don't want like the P word in school. But like some of these books are being banned for like Percy Jackson because they stand against authority. They thought Anne Frank was fiction. No, that was real. Her dad just took out like the parts where she was talking about the boy that she
Time
liked.
to run this back to base.
Stuff like
We'll see you
that.
soon.
You know, the stuff that like showed that she had like, you know, hormones and desires, as happens to teenagers. Pretty much all humans, really, at some point. No, it was real. Like, why would they think that it wasn't? Oh my god. What? Well, who would think that that wasn't real? Why would they think it's fiction? It's not in the fiction section. There's
Zed's
a
up ahead.
reason it's not in the fantasy section. It's a real girl's diary. Like, she lived and was alive. Unfortunately, I don't think that there is a limit to stupidity. There's a limit to intelligence. But yeah, that scares me that someone actually thought that the Diary of Anne Frank was fiction.
Looks like we're Zed free.
It used to be required reading, and now they're taking it out in some places, and even banning it in some. And that is
Supply run is en route.
terrifying.
We'll be ready.
I think I know why they're taking it out, though. It's because the things used against Anne Frank and her family, essentially speaking, their citizenship was taken back for being Jewish. They were essentially hiding from immigration. And people were being taken to the camps by immigration. That seems, you know, I think people need to start asking why that makes them uncomfortable instead of just trying to shut it up. Because the why is very important to a functioning society. Also, my country is terrifying right now.
Supply run is en route.
We'll be ready.